Alright, so I want to show you a little trick. I'm finishing this GT3 custom stainless exhaust for this customer. Yes, I know you're gonna say, why are you doing anything different than MR2s? You say you only do MR2s, blah blah, you don't take any other jobs. That is true. However, this customer, I know him for over a decade now, and back in the day I promised him that I'm gonna do his exhaust if he's ever gonna need it on his GT3. And so here we go, here we are. Man of my words. Unfortunately, I had to take the job. Now it's cool, it's looking good. I've redesigned it, I made it slightly different because I was kind of worried for the raspy noise, which usually that's what you get when you have NA engines with no turbo in between, because the turbine actually works like a silencer. Actually, it breaks the raspiness in the noise and makes everything deeper, which usually that's what we like. He didn't want that raspy noise. This is an A blah blah, so I was quite worried about. We couldn't go too big with the pipes because it's going to be too noisy. So a decent amount of noise, but not too much. Not annoying. It's very difficult to predict how an engine is going to sound, and before you actually hear anything or do anything. So it's only predictions, only theories. But yeah, we've tested yesterday. We fired up, and actually, yeah, sounds good. Sounds actually very deep on a low. On idle, and when you rev it, it's not raspy at all, and it's not too loud. I think it's decent loud, like the good loud. You know what I mean? Not annoying. I was worried about this because you wanted obviously the 4-inch. Well, obviously you want a 4-inch round proper tailpipes, not these fake Porsche just covers around these small tailpipes. So I was worried that when we're gonna go from 2.5-inch to 4-inch, this is gonna work as it's gonna have like a megaphone effect, which obviously it works like a megaphone because it's just a cone expanding the noise. But no, it's actually alright. It's good. And also I've changed the design because what Porsche does. So you have the exhaust going from the headers through the catalytic converter across on the top of this side catalytic converter, not joined together, into the silencer on this side, and then the silencer obviously is kind of like in and out in the same way as this one. There's actually that one there, the big one. You see that's the in and that's the out or whatever. So the same thing. What I did is actually cross them. So the right goes here, joins in on this one, and goes back to itself. But it actually doesn't, because if you're thinking this cross pipe, when you have the gases going through, they won't go this way, they want to go across. So when you have the engine pulses, they cross each other. Obviously they go mainly here, but they also cross onto each other. This makes the noise a bit smoother, less crispy. Also is good for performance as well. But again, it makes big changes on the noise, and and it's actually good. Happy with that. But the trick I want to show you is that if you work on a Porsche, especially on exhaust, everything is rusty. You can see that exhaust. That's bad. Where's the other pipes? I don't know. Oh, there. It's it's unbelievable. It's bad. I don't know why Porsche uses such a bad quality materials on the exhaust. Now I told him I'm not gonna do exhaust manifolds, but at least I should tell him to get the new ones, because now we have the old one. We rusted to rest of the stainless. Modified it with the V-bands obviously, so we have no more gaskets to blow, no more bolts to rust through, and all that stuff. It's just very simple and easy, and V-bands are forever. But actually took me, believe it or not, the whole day to remove the exhaust, because instead of a V-band here, you have a flange with the 3 bolts, and the top bolts are hidden. There is no access, and they've been so rusty through you couldn't undo them. So yeah, it took me a long time, because it's okay, just take the whole thing, including the manifolds. Well, yeah, you have to get access to. It's just forget about it. It's kind of, you have to remove these to get access to remove the silencers, and vice versa, and it's complicated. And when you can't remove the bolts, is a pain in the ass. It took me a whole day. And now, after a whole day of removing the exhaust, I still have to remove the snapped bolts. These are actually bolts, not studs. What I did, I didn't snap them completely because I knew they're gonna snap, because they will snap. I knew because the other ones do. So what you do, you drill them through, you drill the heads, you leave a little bit of a stud inside the cylinder head, and what you do, you weld a nut on top, but not the usual way, not like you see mostly on the internet. I'll show you what you do. Actually, this one is slightly bigger. So you take a nut that is much bigger than this nut. I'm gonna use this one for illustrations purposes because it's gonna stick out. It's gonna show you the difference, how bigger it is. The reason I make it so much bigger is because usually what people do is you take the small bolt, small nut, and weld on the surface. But what you're gonna do then, you're gonna bond the top of this, that surface, to the top of that. Well, if that already snapped originally, just that surface being attached or welded up, it's not gonna get any stronger. What you want to use the surface around it, on top of the surface that is just on the surface here, all around it. That's why I took the trimmer, remove all the rust so we can weld on the clean material. And now we have plenty of space to go inside there and weld all around it, fill it with the welds. So the surface, the contact surface for the welds is probably 4 or 5 times bigger than the usual ways. But that way, two things happen. First of all, it's much stronger. So it's probably as strong or almost as strong as there was a head there, original head. And the second thing, when I welded this one up and you welded all inside proper, this is glowing yellow. Do not slow down, do not try to control the temperature. You want as much heat as possible, because that heat is actually gonna break. You see all this white? This is all in between the thread. And that actually what does, it kind of like welds the two materials together, aluminium with steel, and that heat is actually gonna break that corrosion inside, the bonding, and that's gonna give you a hand to crack it loose. Once you crack it loose, there's a trick to do it. If you try to undo it, it will not. You're gonna snap it. Period. It's like 90% you're gonna snap it. So what you do, you go left. I already went left on this, so undo it. Stop, and then go right till it stops, and then go left again. It's gonna be easy. So every time you go right and left, I'm gonna keep that phone in the same place. You're gonna see the angle. It does about 1 degree or 2 degrees more. You have to be patient. You have to go right and left, right and left, right and left, right and left. When you turn left, when you find resistance, push tiny bit on it, but not too much, and then stop. Go right, be more and stop, be more and stop. Sort of like when you do new threads, but way more sensitive. This way, you're not gonna risk that this is gonna snap on your new stud, because if it's gonna snap clean. You don't have any more surface around it to weld it so strong, and you're screwed pretty much. If you're patient, this 95% of cases comes out. I've seen them very bad, and usually they come up. Listen, it's worth being patient. Put some time on it, even if it takes you an hour to remove a single one of them, because all the way to do it is to drill them through and put a helicoil on it. How are you gonna drill them completely straight with the engine inside the car? This should be actually cylinder head off in the machining shop and then do the proper job. Can you imagine how big of a job that is? So even if you spend an hour on every stud, it's still convenient, it's still better to do it that way than actually do the proper job. You know, proper job. This is a proper job, saving the original stuff. But instead of that, if it's completely messed up, you have to do the proper way and take the cylinders off, and that's not convenient, that's not good. So yeah, little trick. I've done it a few times. Enough times to fuck up so many times that now I've learned my lessons. Now you know as well. If you knew already, fuck it, you just wasted time. But if you didn't, you learned something. Anyways. Yep. Yes. When we're gonna finish the VR5, I don't know. I know we're gonna finish the VR5. We buying the rest of the bits for the VR6 MR2. Once that is finished and gone for the dyno, I'm gonna be cracking back on my Frog, and the VR5 turbo is gonna be ready. This is the SG by anyway, so yeah, you already know, but yeah. Anyways, hopefully you learned something today. I'll see you soon.